Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we're going to talk about fresh release from Eduard, and this is actually a limited edition kit which comes as a dual combo in 1/48 scale. And well, box art shows everything what you need to know about this kit because it's a so-called samurai release. We have famous zeros applied as a dual combo in 1/48 scale. This should be quite an interesting build, and of course we have a commercial sample here, so it will be quite interesting to open it and check what is included inside, and of course you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. So first of all, I have to note that the A6 M3 Zero, and doesn't matter which type because here we have several of them included, all of them are the modern tools from 2022 from Eduard, so that's why you get pretty much the maximum what can be achieved with the modern technologies. And as you can see, the packaging here is quite standard. We have this nice box art on the front. Here you can see comparison with my hand. So I would say it's typical or similar to what we are used to get in the Profi packs. And here on the side we will find all the marking options. So there are 10 marking options as far as you can see, but obviously we will talk or check them a bit closer when we will be checking the assembly manual. And then on the opposite side you can see also 2 more markings. So in total we have actually 12 of them, and also short list of the features. So here you can see why I was saying that there are several types of the Zero included. Also we have a traditional P parts and masks as far as you can see, and also we get decals for 12 marking options. And that's pretty much all. So if you would like to get resin parts, you will have to buy them separately. This is a top opening box, so it's quite easy to open, and here is what we have inside. Just give me a second to place the top lid to the side. So here you can notice that we have the, I would say, standard dual combo layout. That's why there is no point in checking the same stuff again and again. So we will be checking a set of parts only for one model. So keep it in mind. And we will start with something what you saw on the top. It was the pair of the clear sprues. And even though the packaging here is, I would say, on the tight side, still we have all the parts intact and nothing is broken off. So if I zoom in, let's maybe move the screen a bit and close the lenses. Yeah, now you should be able to see what I'm talking about. So here we have all the necessary parts. Obviously there is even more than what will be needed for assembly of one aircraft. And we have really nice molding quality. As I said, we will also get the pre-cut masks. So you shouldn't be worried about any possible issues with cutting out the stickers for all these transparent areas. And of course you can also copy the open canopy because we have the separate middle section, and that's why it's a really handy feature in 1/48 scale actually, because now this is the size where such small things actually matter, and I really appreciate that Eduard did not skip on this stuff. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. You can probably hear it. And here, as far as you can see, we get 2 identical plastic sprues. No, they're not identical, so we'll have to check what are the differences. Because one of them features letter N and another one features letter M. So we are going to start with the letter N. Still here we get the quite standard wings design, so it means 2 top panels and 1 bottom. Note that the flaps are pre-molded, so you won't be able to drop them on your aircraft, and if you would like to do so, you will have to get the separate PE set, which is sold for additional price obviously, so it will be extra investment, but at least we have the separate ailerons, and external features are quite nice here. It's recessed panel lines and rivets, and maybe I can give you even a closer look so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So as you can see, this is quite decent amount of details for 1/48 scale. The only thing is that they are quite, I would say, tender, so try not to lose any of those during the assembly process. And now what I'm trying to do, okay, so I get the difference. Here we get the sprue M. So as you can see, this one is for the aircraft with clipped wings, so it's quite easy to notice once you combine together. And I would say that both are actually quite nice versions of the famous Zero, so it's cool that you can actually copy them out of the box, both aircraft. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. And here I actually wonder if we also get the different fuselage halves. So just give me a second to check. No, the fuselage parts are actually the same. So yeah, I will show you only one sprue. So here it is, and as you can see, this fuselage house pair is molded together with the tail fin but without the cowling area, so cowling will have to be glued out of separate panels. We also have the same level of details as what we saw on the wing. Tail wings should be glued out of 2 halves, and also if I flip over the sprue here inside, you can see some minor features for the cockpit area, and we also have some guiding elements which will help you with position. But that's pretty much all what we get on the fuselage halves, because all other stuff for the cockpit it will have to be added separately. Next we have another pair of similar parts, because this is a dual combo, as you remember, so that's why we get all the parts twice. And here we actually get the mix of parts, so maybe I will zoom in a bit so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So here we have the cockpit parts, main wheel wells, engine, and also some of the minor elements for the fuselage details. So what I really like here is that the engine is really detailed here out of the box, but you can also replace it with original brass set. So if you would like to invest a bit more, then definitely go for it, because obviously brassing will offer more features, especially if you can expose the engine on your aircraft. The same can be said about the cockpit, because out of the box cockpit looks fine, and here we also get the PE parts, so it should be quite alright. But if you would like to have even more, then definitely go for the resin, because it will be completely different level of details. And now I'm opening another plastic bag. So here we have mainly external elements, and just give me a second to place the previous sprue aside. So here we have the sprue V, and as you can see here we get the fuel tank house, for example. We also get some new cockpit parts. I guess this one will be dependent on the marking option you choose or aircraft version you choose. And of course it is also interesting to see that here we get some new cowling parts, and also new rudder here, new cowling as I said. Also here we have the machine guns, propeller hubs, landing gear wheels even. And again, even landing gear wheels, you can replace them with a brassing upgrade if you are ready to invest a bit more. And in my opinion, at least wheels deserve to be replaced, but do not forget that there are many accessory sets from Eduard for this kit. And next, I'm opening another plastic bag with PE parts. So here we have 2 PE frets, both are pre-painted, so that's why I will show you only one, because they are absolutely identical. And this is a typical Eduard product, so if I zoom in, you can see what I'm talking about. And if you have assembled any profit pack from Eduard, this product will be familiar to you. We also have glazing on the dials, which copies the glasses on the dials of the real instrument panel. And this is a really nice small touch, because it looks great if you open the canopy. And of course, even though this is the 1/48 scale kit, still you can see comparison with my fingertips. Some parts are really tiny, so you have to use tweezers. That's something what you will not be able to avoid, and it's better to use all the right tools, even the PE bender, so that you won't have any, let's say, unpleasant accidents. And also you want to lose it to the carpet monster as usual. Next we continue with the masks. So masks are pre-cut, and as you can see, this is a typical yellow sticker from Eduard. I can see that we have not only the canopy masks, but we also get the stickers for the landing gear wheels, which is rather nice, because landing gear wheels will be a bit more precisely painted. And now I'm opening another plastic bag. So here we get the decal sheets for these 2 aircraft. And as far as you can see, we get 2 stencil sheets and 1 main, so I will show you only 1 stencil decal set, because they are identical. So here you can see the stencils. Obviously they are printed in Eduard, so there is nothing to be worried in terms of the quality, but they're really tiny, as you can see here. So again, it's a time-consuming process. Be ready for this. And next we continue with the main decal sheet. So this one is printed on slightly larger format, and here I will have to zoom out. So as you can see, we have all the traditional symbols for Japanese camouflages. We also have some decals for the cockpit in case you're not eager to use the P parts, then you can use these dials for the cockpit, but that's pretty much all. There are no seat belts or any other additional accessory for the cockpit in form of decal. So again, I would rather recommend to use the P parts because otherwise you will not be able to copy these features. Next, we zoom out a bit. So here we have the assembly manual. This one is printed in color, and if I open it, it's quite thick brochure, by the way, because here, as you can see, we have a detailed history note about this aircraft. It's on 2 pages. Then we start assembly with the parts map. Blue color means that these parts will not be used. And again, straight on the first steps, you have to decide which marking option you would like to choose, because it will define the choice of the parts for the cockpit. And of course, here you have to decide whether you will be using the P parts or you would like to stay with the standard plastic which is coming out of the box. So as you can see, cockpit is really detailed out of the box. I said it before, but again, you can also replace it with the brushing if this is not enough for you. Here we join fuselage halves together. So as you can see, again, choice of the fuselage parts and also the rudder, it depends on the marking option. The same goes for the wings, as you remember. And next we continue with more modifications to the wing parts. I can see here the oxygen bottle being installed. Next we also have, so we have to do some engraving on the parts. This is something new in my opinion, so be careful and of course be ready for this, because I do not remember previous releases from Eduard where you should actually do the engraving by yourself, but well, this is quite, I would say, detailed model, so no surprise in this. And next, here we can see the engine assembly. So for the engine, we have only decal with the manufacturing tag, and that's pretty much all. As far as you can see, the ignition lines are not copied with P parts. Next, we assemble the cowling. So here it's a 3-part assembly. And here we continue with landing gear, propeller, and of course the canopy. Here you have to decide which type of the canopy, I mean the closed or open, you would like to have on your aircraft. Next we continue with the masks application guide, and here we have first 2 marking options. So the marking guide, I would say it's typical for Eduard. So here we have quite large profiles for each of the aircraft. Paint numbers, they are given again as usual in the Gunzi paint numbers, but it's not difficult to convert them into some different paint manufacturer, especially if you're using something different. But again, for the Japanese markings, I would rather recommend to go for the Gunzi colors because they're a bit more precise and you will get the exact, let's say, necessary paint shades out of the bottle. You do not have to mix anything, so you get them ready to be sprayed on the aircraft. And as you can see, for example, this marking is even depicted with some weathering in this one as well. And next we continue with another pair, and here you can see also the stenciling position for this aircraft, which is also quite a useful thing. I always say that it's something worth investing money and time as well, so be ready to spend some time because it will only benefit your 148 scale aircraft. As for the whole kit, I think it's a really decent dual combo limited edition. Of course you can enhance it with help of original accessories, but it will involve extra expenditure, I would say. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.